Hiya, it's Carly from Kip Carlisle, and today we are on with converting measures. Okay, this is one that a lot of people find tricky, but once they get used to it, it is relatively easy. So the key thing is, tell them the rule is 1,000, but there's an exception to it. Okay, so stick with, usually it's 1,000, but there is an exception. Okay, so converting measurements of length. So we always start them off with the easy stuff, and we have centimetres and we have millimetres. So how many millimetres are in a centimetre? I try to get them to picture their ruler, which has got that little centimetre broken up into 10 little bits. So there are 10 millimetres, excuse my pen, 10 millimetres to 1 centimetre. Okay, and then we would move on to centimetres and metres. So we've got centimetres and we've got metres, and we would say to them, okay, how many centimetres are in 1 metre? Centi means 100. Century is 100 years. Per cent means per 100. So cent literally means 100. There's 100 cents in a dollar. Okay, so 100 centimetres in a metre. And this is where they get confused, because they're like, well, hold on a minute, that's not 1,000. You told me it's 1,000. Well, yes, it is 1,000, because the way that the metric system works is that there are 1,000 millimetres in 1 metre. So it is still 1,000, but there's a little breakdown in between. Okay, and then when we go from metres to kilometres, we've got the nice easy 1,000. So there's 1,000 metres in 1 kilometre. So the big thing is, okay, they've got to get into their head those numbers, but they've also then got to think, well, which way am I going? Am I going from the big one to the little one, or the little one to the big one? So if I'm going from my centimetres into my metres, I'm going from the one that there's more of. There's more centimetres because they're very little. So when I'm going from the one that there's more of, I'm going to divide. So if I'm going from the littler unit to the bigger unit, I'm going to divide. And if I'm going the other way, then I'm going to times. Okay, now there is one added element with length that they have to learn, especially in secondary school. They've got to understand how to get from kilometres to miles. Okay, and this isn't a simple and easy conversion that they've got to understand, but what we tend to go with is that 8 kilometres is 5 miles, or sometimes we do 16 and 10. Okay, and that, once they get that in their head, it's not too difficult. So say I was given something in kilometres. I've been given the 24 kilometres. So I'm on the kilometres side. So if I want to get that to miles, I've got to divide by my 8, which gives me 3, and then times that by my miles, which gives me 15. So 24 kilometres is 15 miles, okay? And that's how they would do that. Weight and capacity, once they've got their head around all of this, is then much simpler. Okay, so the main things we have in weight is we have grams to kilograms. So 1 gram, this pen is frustrating. 1,000 grams is 1 kilogram. So it's another one that we can talk about. The word kilo or kilo means 1,000. It actually means 1,000. So like we have cent meaning 100, kilo means 1,000, and milli also means 1,000. So we've got millimetres. There's 1,000 of them in a metre. So we've got all sorts of words in there that give us a hint. So that's a good one for weight. Again, with capacity, capacity is when we're talking about measuring liquid. So you've got 1,000 millilitres in 1 litre. And this one links back to our length, because it does have an intermediate one that people often forget about. It has CL, centilitres, especially when we're talking about alcohol, or in foreign countries when we're talking about cans, they're often measured in centilitres. Okay, so centilitre is a bit like your centimetre. There would be 100 centilitres in a litre. Okay, And that's how that works. So when you've got a 70 centilitre bottle of wine, you've got 700 mils or 0.7 of a litre. And that's how all our different things link to each other. And unfortunately, it's going to be a case of learning the different rules and remembering that when we're going from the little unit to the bigger unit, we divide. When we're going from the bigger unit to the little unit, we times. Okay, and that should be everything. Thanks.